Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Welcome live from Austria, from the Alps, from the Neflois Haboire, Saint Anton, Tirol, Weber Tours. The food is very geschmack. Rabbi, it's very, very geschmack. I have these cups here so I can show you because some people were asking how to come here. So I'm leaving soon, so don't come now. Come after. But it's unbelievable. So today I'll tell you real quickly. We got to start off with a little bit of I'm cutting out the emails. I just want 2 minutes about the Alps. So today we went to this place. What is it called? Something Stubenfall. So basically, there's two ways to do it. There's the Shoitim way is you park your car and then you walk up hundreds and hundreds of stairs. How many stairs?
350.
It's more than that. It's more. It's a lot more than that. No, it's more. It's not counting all the wooden steps. Okay, hundreds of steps. You go to the top, and then you walk down. You walk down a road. I don't know what. Okay, whatever. What we did is we drove up. Now, if you drive up, you have to figure out a way to get your car back. So that's a shtickle problem. And then we walked down. So that was a lot easier than walking up. Now, what we saw was a magnificent waterfall. And there's different stops along the way. You could sit and appreciate the Rebbeinu Shalom's creation. So I'm going to show you real quickly. Here it is. Okay, and then one other thing. This guy thought he's coming here for a shear. Nice, we're talking about the Alps. There's a picture I took with the beautiful flowers, the wild flowers, the purple and the reds. Okay, this I thought was very interesting. Somebody's walking in Mill Basin in New York, and he sees this through the window. Matoivu Alecha Yaakov.
Guys, I'm walking by this guy's house. He's literally doffing on the big screen. That's insane. That's nuts. Are you masking? Did I just walk up on this?
That's crazy.
And then one other thing. Oh, this is Steve Seychelles. He went to Manchester. Steve Seychelles is the tall one. Yossi Dahari is on the right. Bernard David is on the left. He's the first person that put together a chabura 7 years ago, MDY chabura, outside of MDY in Manchester. Who's that guy? I know his name. Whatever. Okay, I forgot his name. The guy on the left. Today's breakfast is sponsored by Baruch Shafnis, his grandfather, Yaakov Tzvi ben Mordechai Alav Shalom, and the Orach Chaim HaKadosh. Zchus Yogan Aleinu. Tonight is the yard side. The Masechta is sponsored by David Solomon, dedicated in memory of Avi Meiri, Reb Shmuel Baruch ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv. The Masechta is sponsored by Anonymous. Anonymous, may our learning be a shield of protection and a source of unity and blessing for Am Yisrael. Joel Gedalius, Leon Nishmas, my father, Jack Gedalius. Coil sponsors monthly, Moshe Aaron and Miriam Landy. Thank Hashem for the bracha and simcha. Monthly sponsors, TCS Israel, powered by Talk and Save, Yoni Koletzik. Before Shlema, Miriam Messer, Bas Perel, Fradl, Pessel. Anonymous, before Shlema, Chulabas Bracha. Weekly sponsors, Anonymous, Memory Moshe Dov Ben Yeruchim, officials of Chrono Levarocha, Yardside next week. Yosef and Avigal Feinerman, thank Hashem for saving our son, Shmuel Menachem, from a recent near drowning incident. Scary stuff. I have a friend that lost a kid. I have a friend in North Miami who his daughter was nifter like that. Daily sponsors, Yaakov Yosef Itzkowitz, Lili Nishmas, his mother, Adchaya Bas Aaron, and mother-in-law, Rishaindel Bas Lipmanariya. Reb Eli's New Yorker Shlita being insulted by Reb Eli is where it's at. Oh, it's the same guys. Okay, I got it. Ari Seitner, Ruvain, love, Tati, Geschmack. These are the best. If you want to dedicate something, 2-3 words, Givaldik. Anonymous. In honor of Eli's upcoming Sima Shas. Yes. So I'll tell you that it's very emotional. In 5 days from now is when MDY started. We started in the middle of, joking up, in the middle of the Masechta, Daf Chof Ches, Mamish in the middle of the Masechta, in the middle of nowhere. It was Noam and some other guys were standing around. No, maybe give a shir tomorrow. Okay, let's go. We start a shir, but it's not by a Mishnah. It's not by a parak. Let's go. That's how we do it. That's how we roll. You start in the middle of nowhere. It could be in the middle of Daf Chav Gimel is also a great place to start. And Be'ezer Hashem, time flies like this. 7.5 years went by like nothing. So Yishkoyach, who's this? Anonymous. Yishkoyach, whoever you are. And so Be'ezer Hashem, not this Shabbos, but this coming Shabbos, we're celebrating the Chabura, the core, the guys that started, Avi, Noam, and 10 or something other families were coming. We're going to the Waldorf to celebrate a special MDYC Mashas, the first MDYC Mashas. Did I say everything? I don't even know what I said here. Oh no, I didn't. Second day of the spot is Mark Ashkenazi. Lina Shmas, my great uncle, Habacher, Hayakar, Hachaver, Meir ben Hachaver, Reb Yosef Zitzal on his yard side. His neshama should have an aliyah. Mark Ashkenazi is a big tzaddik. He's online right now. He's the one. He's in my computer from either Muncie or Phoenix, wherever he's at right now. I don't even know. And he's controlling. He does the shir. He makes sure that you guys see the charts and everything's going. So Yishkoyach Mark. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read the next part. He was forcefully drafted into the German army in World War I at age 21, was killed, and was zoichet to Kfuras Yisrael, Baruch Hashem. Let me see, noch. Anyway, Kids Monthly Innovations, Chuz for Official, Chonon, Kiva, Rivkin, Stefansky, Kalman Yisrael, for learning, 4 Mesechtes Rebelli, both 9 and 12-year-old. Art of the Month, Refuah Shlema for Yonatan Eitan ben Beshav Bracha, a great guy from Ramat Shemesh, needs a Refuah Shlema, Mordechai ben Esther, for Sayeled, Daniel Zev ben Ayelet Esther. Rabbi, we have a beautiful daf today with one of the most famous stories in Shas of David ben Nesina, who the Chachamim went to buy one of the jewels for the Chayshin, and his father was sleeping. Every kid in Cheder knows the story. It's on today's daf. Classic Avodah Zarah daf is easier sugyas, and then some agadata, and different things sprinkled along the way. So, Daf Chav Gimel Amud Aleph, the first word of the Amud. The Gemara had a question. It starts out with the Mishnah. The Mishnah says that if you have an animal, you're not allowed to park it at the Goyisha Inn. You come to a hotel, and you come with your donkey, your horse. In those days, they didn't have cars. You're not allowed to park your donkey in front of the hotel. Why? We're choishesh that the guy is going to be over an avera with the donkey. He's going to be reveh the donkey. So where it says, if that's the case, and that's the first line on Amud Beis on top, if you're so choishish that the guy is going to be over the Isser, so then how can you buy an animal from a guy and then bring it as a carbon? We know that a carbon can't have such an Isser done to it. So how are you allowed to buy an animal from a guy? So yesterday we saw the answer of that a guy that owns animals is not, we're not choishishim. Why? Because when he's over the Isser, he ruins the animal. He causes her to be an akara. Today we're going to see 2 more answers. Says the Gemara like this: Ravina Omar loy kashi ho lechatchila ho di'eved. So typically speaking, lechatchila di'eved, lechatchila means, how do you say it in first place? Di'eved is
Ideal? After the fact.
ideal is good, and B'diavad is after the fact. Over here, that's not what it means. The lechatchila is ideal. It's ideal. Very good. Ideal is a great word. We have Reb Shlomo Zayin here. He is, what do you call him? He does the traveling for Ami magazine, and he writes. What's your official name?
Senior foreign correspondent.
Foreign correspondent, White House correspondent. We showed pictures of him learning the daf in the White House. Yishkoyach for that. And I say this all the time: when you're in a position like yourself, that you have the ability to reach out to many people, which you do, then you have a special opportunity to bring people to Torah. So you never know what and people come to you after a year or two and say, because of you, my life has changed. That's what they'll tell you, literally. Has it ever happened to you yet?
People tell me they started learning with you because of me, but I don't even do it every day.
Right. It doesn't matter. They see the picture. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And if you said a word about it, I'm going to hint. In one of your articles, you said this. I was on Meaningful People, right? Thousands of people learned Torah because of that one interview. Because of Nachi Gordon and what's his name? Yaakov Langer. And v'chula, Ari Chaimowitz. You know how many people now, he said the thing, he cried with the donut, he hates Gemara, and the amount of people, I can't imagine what a chraya is, and what the schusim that you have. So people in that position, Be'ezer Hashem, you'll do the right thing, bring more and more people. Akol Panim. So Ravina says like this, when I tell you, I'm going to tell you lechatchila, what was the word you used? Ideally, not ideally. It's more than ideal. You do not park your animal in front of a goyisha inn. That's Allah. Now, if a guy has an animal, you're allowed to buy it from him. One thing has nothing to do with the other. You do not put your animal in front of the wife. First of all, let's go back. I'm assuming everybody knows, but we have to chazer. Because if he's over on the Aveira, you caused him to be over the Aveira. You were a part of it. You enabled him. And you're not allowed to enable a guy also. If you see the Mirshal is by a guy as well. Okay. But if a guy has an animal, I don't have to be choshesh that he did it. It's like it's an interesting thing. It's, on the one hand, be careful. On the other, you're choshesh. You don't want to put your animal there. But on the other hand, this particular animal, I don't have to. Where do we see something similar? Says the Gemara. Where do we see such a thing? We see it by a woman. This not like this yachad isha imayim. A woman should not have yichud with a guy, with the oivik gechav.
The Rikva explains that.
Yeah.
The behem has a chazaka that wasn't mirva.
Interesting. I didn't see such a pshat. I hear. Nice.
The future that it will be mirva.
But again, it doesn't.
A guy is choshed al via.
So
after the fact, you rely on a chazaka that it wasn't mirva.
And again, this is now you need an explanation on the first part. If there's a chazaka that it wasn't, so then why can I rely on the chazaka that it won't happen? It's dakizdik. Okay. So says the Gemara. Where do we see this concept? We see it. The halacha is that a woman should not be misyachid with an idol worshiper. Why? You can't trust the guy. So this is very interesting. This is applicable to today. Today we have, unfortunately, this question. A woman, we have many women that were captured and put in the tunnels in Gaza. They come out of the tunnel. What's the halacha? Allowed to the husband, not allowed to the husband. Is there a problem? Not a problem. So we're going to see here that the l'chor is a little bit of a problem. The Rabbanon were matter. We have to understand why. Now, there's two types of women, two types of captivities. There's two types of, what is it called? Kidnappings or whatever they're called. No, that's later. No, ransom is the next part. But what is it called? When you captives. We have to know why the guy captured her. Is it because her husband owes money? If she owes money, or her husband owes money, let's say she owes money, so he captured her. Now we know that the guy is not going to touch her. Why? Because he wants the money. So mutares l'bayla. Oh, so we got to stop. We got to pause right over here. We just said that a woman is usher to be misyached with a guy. Why? Because the guy is choshed al arayis. And then the second lady tell me that if it's for money, he's not choshed, but he's choshed al arayis. I thought he's choshed al arayis. So you see that to begin with, don't go into a room with him because you have to be careful of yichud, of arayis. But once she was with him, I don't have to be choshed that she was overness with him. However, ayidei nefasho is asur lebalo. If she is chayiv misa, she deserves the capital punishment. Doesn't deserve whatever the goyim decides, they have to kill her. So in that situation, if she was freed, now she cannot go back to her husband. This is super, super interesting, especially according to Rashi. Taisa says we're talking about a kohen. She's married to a kohen, so even if she was forced, we know that a woman who's even in a forced situation, she has to divorce her husband. Her husband has to divorce her. But Rashi says, no, we're talking about Israelis. And listen to this. Rashi says, we're choished since this guy might have done it many times. One of the times, she had a rotzen, she was misratza, she was okay with it. And for that, she's also to her husband. You hear what's going on here? She's also to her husband because maybe, it's a maybe nothing happened. But maybe something did happen. If something happened, maybe he was baratzen. That's a pele of blood. Yeah, that's what I'm asking. That's Taisa's kasha. Not that's basically what's bothering Taisa. That's why he goes to kohenes, to Eishes kohen. Akoponim. It's a very super interesting halacha. Now, they say that Gaza is different. Rav Amar says, that's his svar, he wants to use it to be matter. He says, yes, Arabs, they kill. The Hamas, they kill people. But that's not what nefashos means. Nefashos means when a person is chayiv misa. The Hamas, they don't want to kill. They rather have them alive than dead. So they don't want to kill. Someone is chayiv misa, he says the svar over here is, she'll try to be meratzer, captor, and that's considered rotzen. She's going to try to get out of her situation by propositioning him. And male, that's also. Male, that answers her on the husband, and Hamas is different. She could go back to her husband. That's what he says. Says the Gemara, Dilma, Mimai, who told you? Oh, sorry, I skipped. Elav Shmamino, Shani, we're like 7 lines from the top. Elav Shmamino, Shani lo ben lechatchila diavad. So you see over here that there's a difference between, to start out with, don't have yichud with him. But if after the fact, then she's still mutter to her husband. Same thing in our sugya. Don't park your animal in front of the hotel. But after the fact, if you want to buy an animal from a guy, you don't have to be concerned that maybe he was revered the animal. And you can use it as a carbon. Mimai asked the Gemara who said, maybe we could say, listen, typically speaking, every Ovid Kechavim is chashud that, and we had a whole sugya yesterday. If you weren't here, the Gemara explains that there's a certain zuhama, a certain, like a ruchnistic tumah that went into Chava from the Nachash. He inserted the zuhama into her, and she gave it to everybody. The entire world has the zuhama that causes a person to desire an animal. But Yidden don't have it because we were at Har Sinai. In case you're wondering, like, what is going on here? Like, is super interesting stuff going on. Yeah, they have a zuama. So Mela, but maybe I'll tell you that really they are chashid. But you know what the difference is? You know why? By money. When she owes money, the husband owes money, when we say she's tar and she's not also to her husband, you know why? The guy knows that if he decides to do an issur with her, he's not going to get paid. He's more concerned about his money than anything else. So fakert, the money is the oisnam. It's the yotzim and a klal. It's what's different. Typically speaking, we have to be choshesh the guy. Okay. I'll prove it to you. Here, look. A typical case where there's no money involved, she becomes also right away. Why? Because you can't trust the guy. You can't trust the guy. In fact, unfortunately, if you listen to some of the interviews they had, that's what happened in Gaza, unfortunately. That's what a guy does. In fact, I can't argue this. We're done. So there's no raya from here. Great. Another teretz. What was the question? That our Mishnah says, do not park your donkey in the hotel. Like by us, I'm looking at the place. Right in front of the hotel, people park the car. Can't park right in front. Your animal. A second later, it says, we have a brisa that says that you're permitted to buy an animal from a guy and use it as a carbon. Maybe it was reveyed, maybe it's also. Says, I'll tell you what, you're asking a great contradiction, but it's not a contradiction. The Mishnah is Rebbe Eliezer, and the Bryce is Chachamim, so it's not a problem. Tanoim are allowed to say, they're allowed to argue. This nan, Gabi Poras Chatas, or a boy say, you're not going to believe this. I didn't know about this Gemara. I didn't know that we're going to learn, because I do one daf at a time, that's it. So this morning, I'm learning this, and I'm like, wow. Just yesterday, real quickly, if you're new in the hotel here, you don't know, there's a guy by the name of Itzik. He gives, he guides you, tells you where to go. So he did not let us down yet. So yesterday he told us about this place. What's the name? Anyways, you drive there. It's mini Austria all in one. And you start out, there's a sign that says number 1 and huge. You can't miss it, sign 1. Then you go a little bit more, 2, 3, goes up to 35. He told us exactly where to stop. You stop over here at 9, and then this and that, boom, boom, boom. It's unbelievable. If you want after Shir, Avi will tell you all the numbers. You don't have to video. One place you see a gorgeous dam with a giant lake. The next place you see a giant waterfall. Then you see each one is the final one is an ice cave, glaciers from thousands of years ago, and just last year started breaking apart. So they put up a rope, says do not enter. But apparently in Hebrew or something it says the Israelim mutar, because all the Israelis they go right past there. There's no sign that says for them to go right in. Akapanim. On the way up there, Connor Tal is called. Oh, so I showed a video yesterday. I actually did. If the editors didn't take it out, so you might have seen this yesterday, but it's very negated today. Check this out. Here we go. This is a paradumo. Push it. It's a red heifer. Now, I don't advise the oil to do this. It's not a very good idea because that's why. But that's a paraduma. I don't know if it's kosher, and I don't know if it's a paro or a bull. I'm not even sure yet.
It's a bull if it has horns.
No. All the paras have horns. They cut them out. Yeah. You're gonna learn a lot of stuff. Yeah. Go there tomorrow. You'll see them with the horns.
Turn them upside down now.
Yeah.
And this is only day one.
Do you know what else you know that sheep have tails to the floor? Did you know that too? Okay, so when you learn Torah with us, you'll know. There's a lot of stuff that you learn here. Cows have horns. In fact, in this place, you'll see the cows with horns. Not as big as that, maybe, but they cut them off. There's different things. Okay. So, it could be different breeds. I don't know. But let me ask you something. The meat that you eat is a cow or a bull? What do you eat? Nobody answer. What do you eat?
I have no idea. I'm going to imagine it's a cow.
Bah, wrong again. Next.
I don't work the bull harder and makes the meat tough.
Fakir, the cow is milking. She says her meat is not good. We eat bulls. Say, you gotta come to share more often.
Yeah, okay.
So you learn random facts.
7 years from now, I'll be celebrating my Seder Shabbos.
Oh, man.
Listen, let me give you a bracha. They should be consistent. You got to just do it for 30, 40 days. Do it every day, and there'll be a party. You'll never stop. On your flights to Washington, what?
I never have one day that looks the same. Every day.
Doesn't matter. And then my days look the same. Trust me. We all go through the same, but you have time on the plane, you have time on the train, you have time in the airport. There's always 45 minutes. It doesn't take, trust me, you get to your hotel, sit down, you open up a Gemara, boom, it's a different day. It's a different life.
Definitely different.
All right, Megid Weiter. We'll talk later. We have the whole shot, we have the whole week here. Zog the Gemara. So says the Gemara, we have a machlokes Rebbe Lezer and Chachamim. Now what? The Snan, Gabi Paras Chatos. Who's this? Oh, this is Ariel. This is our editor.
Learning on the plane.
That's great. Okay, so what do I want to tell you? Here, do we have the paraduma? Yeah, here. What's a paraduma? So let's do a little chazar. It doesn't hurt. Paraduma, in the time of the Beis Hamikdash, when people got tamei mace, when you went to a funeral, you went within 4 hours of the mace, you touched the mita, you couldn't become tar unless you got sprayed with the water of the paraduma. It's a mixture of the ashes of the paraduma. They take the paraduma right over here. You go to Har Zaysim, and you could see the Beis Hamikdash from there, and you shecht it, you burn it right there. But they take the ashes, so how do you have so many ashes? It has to go throughout Klal Yisrael, and for hundreds of years. So they went from Moshe Rabbeinu all the way to Bai Sheni, one paraduma. So you take a ton of wood, as much wood as you want. You can pile it up, like they have here down as you drive here. You see piles and piles of wood, all these trees. So you pile it up and you put a little paraduma, and all those trees become part of the ashes. You can use it for generations. You put it in the water, mix, and there's a special ezav. You sprinkle it. Great. Now see, the paraduma is very rare. We know, costs a lot of money. Doesn't come.
It's a Chazanisha circle. They just keep going and going and going. Right? Same concept.
Similar.
I don't know where you're getting yours from, but okay. So now, this paraduma. What Rabbi said, what could be a good reason you can't buy a paraduma from a guy?
Might have worked it.
Oh.
Who said that? Who said that?
Saying good.
Who? I didn't hear who said it. You did? My word, very good. What other reason? Oh, Roiva, that's what we're talking about. Maybe he did it unfair with it. What's another reason? You have to buy from a Jew, not from a guy. As I stated in Pasuk, maybe. So these are the reasons. So now the Gemara starts off saying, that's how it comes in. That's how it comes in. So the Gemara says, time out. Last cycle you learned it. It's 7.5 years ago. Says the Gemara like this. That Reb Das says that there's a machlokes Reb Eliezer and Rabbanon. Are we concerned that somebody was reveya his animal? Why? It's not going to be paras chatos. Reb Eliezer is the one that says any kach is going. You do not purchase the red heifer, the paraduma from a guy. The chamatirim l'chayra my love. What's the machlokes? Balkamivli our machlokes. Reb Eliezer savar chashina l'reviya. Can't buy from guy because it passels it, and that's the Gemara in Amud Beis. Why would it passel it exactly? But it's like a carbon, let's say, carbon that we said it's nirva is possible for carbon, possible for a paraduma. Rabban Savri, I got this. Don't worry. Rabban Savri, I'm not concerned. Therefore, you could purchase from a guy, and you have a good raya from Dam Mitzina. The Chacham went to buy a paraduma from a guy. Rabbi Lezer says no good. Shkoyach. Says Gemara Memai. Dilma, who says the pshat is like you? This is Rabbi Benedict's brother-in-law. What's your name, Nachamal? Eli Lerner. So hi, Rabbi Benedict. Eli's right over here.
Oh, nice.
So what? I told him that we had a great time with him. So Rabbana Memai. Dilma kuliyam eloi chashin l'revia. Maybe we're not concerned about revia. Why? So one pshat could be like we said yesterday, because a guy is not reveh his own animal because he'll make it sterile. And another pshat is like we just had today, because b'diavad once a guy owns the animal, you could buy it from him. That's what Shlomo was saying. Check this out. If you just take a pile of here, this is all AI. You're asking me how this takes a long time. Yes, it's AI, but it takes a very long time to put all together. You see, Noam? To do this, boop.
Nobody would ever do that.
What?
You're standing in such a dangerous place. You don't stand behind
No.
the horse.
That's not a horse.
No.
This is a para. This is the paraduma.
They don't kick.
Don't kick out.
Kick like that.
Nah.
Not like that. Yeah.
Horses, yeah. Akopanim, listen to this. If you put a very lightweight on a paraduma, it's toast, gone, finished. And when it comes to egla rufa, so a couple of things here. This is egla rufa. The egla rufa. What's the egla rufa again? They found a body between two cities. They don't know which one they have to measure, which one is closer. Here you see that they're measuring between the two cities, and they take this egla into Nachal Eisan. They have to go to a special place, and the guy goes like this with the, how do you say it in the cleaver? It goes from that part of the neck, chop chop, boom, done. Now, if this animal was used in a certain way, not like a paraduma. Paraduma, we say we just put a little paperweight on it, it's finished. But this guy, he has to pull something. Let's see. It goes like this. You see? This is the egla rufa pulling. Then it becomes the X. If the paraduma, he put the empty sacks on it, that's when it becomes possible. Why the distinction? Because the Torah says over here, Asher loy Allah oleha oil. You didn't put on top of it a weight. And oh no, there's something else. This one. So loy Allah oleha oil. And then you have over here, Asher loy moshcha. Moshcha means to pull. So that's the difference between the two. Interesting story that the Yerushalmi brings down. Yerushalmi brings down Ma'aseh Shaya, that a guy had a paraduma. Actually, there was some guy, I forgot from where, from Texas or whatever, that they found 5 paradumas and they shipped them to Israel. There's a whole video about it. Go look it up somewhere. So this guy had a paraduma and he knew it was very valuable. He reached out to Chachamim and they came to check it out and they liked it. And he said, okay, a couple $1 million. They said, okay, we'll come back tomorrow with the money, we'll buy it. At night, this guy goes and tells his friend, you're not going to believe it, the Chacham are coming tomorrow, millions of pay, but I'm going to do a trick. I'm going to ruin it for them. I'm going to put something on it. This is the Yerushalmi saying, it's a story in the Gemara in the Yerushalmi. I'm going to put something on it, so I'm going to ruin it. It's going to be oil, and they're not going to know, and I'm going to, it's like the cleaning lady that puts the milk into the cholent every week. Lahaches, okay, fine. The next day, the Chacham come, and they say, okay, well, the thing. He says, here it is. And they take a look at it. He says, no, we can't buy it. It had an oil. So how do you know it had oil? The Gemara says there's two hairs that stick up, and once you put the oil in, the two hairs go down. They had a simon. He lost his money. He was so stressed out by it, he went and he choked himself. He killed himself. This is Yerushalmi. So says the Gemara, Mar Sova Rebbe Lezer holds chashinon. We have to be concerned. Maybe somebody put a package on it. Mar Sova le chashinon. I'm not concerned. So the Gemara leisok daitach. There's no way that in order for him to take a little break, as he's gonna risk to lose $2 million so that the cow could schlep something a little bag for him. There's no way. So over here also, just to be, he has a paraduma, so to think that he was going to be reveya it, to have a little anah, that he's going to do that, no way. So the Gemara says, no, I'll tell you why. So I think we could relate to this, or at least we know somebody that could relate to this, that for a moment of hana, a person will throw away his entire life. I know a few people like that. That mamish for a small avera, that a 5-minute avera, willing to give up their marriage, their parnasa, not to speak to any of their children, mamish destroy their family for a fleeting moment. It's a person loses his mind. He's not thinking at the time. Yitzroy Toikvai. What did somebody say today about Yitzroy Toikvai? Somebody came over and told me something about Yitzroy Toikvai. Okay. Yeah, it's Yitzroy Toikvai. That's the. Yeah. Zog the Gemara. By the way, I said this yesterday, but there's some new people here. This week's parasha is Bilam and the Chamar. The Gemara says in our Masechta they had relations with his own donkey. So it's not. It was a common thing back then. It's not like a. Says the Gemara. Who told you? Maybe there's a third thing here. We spoke about oil that could ruin it. You can't buy from a guy because maybe he had a load on it. Maybe the guy had relations with it, but maybe there's a third thing, says the Gemara. Maybe there's not. We're not concerned about Revia. But kind of time. So what? Yes, the Tani Shila. The Tani Shila. We have a new thing, Shila. What did Shila say? The Tani Shila. My time the Rebbe Eliezer. Bnei Yisrael v'yikhu lecho. Bnei Yisrael yikhu. Bnei Goyim yikhu. Says Gemara here, like this. Oh, I gave it away already. It says in the pasuk v'yikhu. So you can read it v'yakichu, that they should cause you to take. The person selling it to you must be Jewish. V'yikhu means not that you take, but that he should cause you to take. V'yakichu. That's how we learn it. Says more. Not true. It can't be that Rebbe Eliezer holds like Shila. The what? That you have to buy directly from a Jew. And by the way, even if you have to buy directly from a Jew and a guy owns a paraduma, there's a way out of it. You tell a Jew to buy it from the guy, and you buy, and the Beis Hamikdash buys it from the Jew. So then they bought it from a Jew. But I'll go upon him. If Rebbe Eliezer says all korbanos are asur, if the reason is because of Shila, you have to buy from a Jew. This pasuk that I'm showing you over here, it says kicha. It says by paraduma, but it doesn't say by korbanos. Elakula korbanos kicha ksibo. Did I show this on this? I don't know if here. Just in case Mark didn't do it. I don't know what happened over there. Okay. Says Gemara, Elakula korbanos kicha ksibo. Does it say kicha? It doesn't say kicha. So the Gemara Dilma can't put Rabbanon later. Rebbe Eliezer, maybe Rabbanon arguing Rebbe Eliezer. Hello, Bepara the Meria Karim. I have a good svara to say that the guy was not riveya the animal, the paraduma, because he stands to lose $2 million or more. Why would he do it? Maybe they all agreed to Rebbe Eliezer that what? That you're not allowed to buy an animal from a guy because maybe he's riveya it and make it a carbon. Yeah, you can buy an animal from a guy, but you can't make it a carbon. The problem is, carbon, yeah, Daf Yomi, Amud Beis, the top line, it says that. No, I'm just saying what we learned when we learned. Right now we're Chav Gimel Amud Beis, but on Daf Amud Beis, it says carbon. You're allowed to buy an animal from a guy and make it a carbon. Mani, according to what you're telling me, that Rabbanan agreed to Rebbe Eliezer that it's also to buy from a guy. So lo Rebbe Eliezer, lo Rabbanan. Then we don't have a mandama that says that you're allowed to buy from a guy. And another thing, it says mufurish. Rebbe Eliezer said you're not allowed to buy from a guy. So that you know what they told him, they have a mufurish pasuk. You're allowed to buy from a guy and make it a carbon. It says kol tzoin kedar, any sheep that comes from Yishmael, from Kedar, yikvitzulach yal l'rotz al mizbechi. You're allowed to put on the mizbeach. Okay, so you have a mamish mufurish pasuk. You're allowed to buy karbanos. Turning of the daf. Just 3 short ones. Adar Global, experts in international financial services, anonymous. The gratitude for the safe and healthy birth of our baby boy, Mazel Tov. Givat Shalva, third true community. In Givat Zev, what to say?
Breaking.
Oy major security incident being reported in Khan Yunis area of Gaza Strip. We've been told that the building collapsed on IDF unit, causing a large number of casualties. We have to learn the schus, refuah, and hopefully we don't have to learn for either nishmas. Learning the schus, these young boys. So the Gemara says, we have to go into it a little bit, into paraduma. What's going on with paraduma? What is a paraduma? How do we view a paraduma? Is it like a carbon chatos, like a oila? Does it have kedushas guf? Is it a very, very high level of kedusha, or a lower level of kedushas damim? Right? These are the 2 things. In case you want to memorize it, kedushas damim and kedushas haguf. Kedushas haguf means its physical guf is kadosh, like a chatos. Kedushas damim is like bedek habayis. It's like something that's owned by the Beis Hamikdash, but you can redeem it. It has less kedusha. Now, I said before, paraduma you shecht it outside of the Beis Hamikdash. You don't even shecht it on the mizbeach. You don't bring it. You don't shecht it in the azara. So where it says, but I'll prove to you that it's really kadosh kedusha aguf. Why? Because we're concerned. Maybe the guy was riveyah, but if you know for sure, you saw on video that he was riveyah, then you'd be also to buy this paraduma. Then it's for sure possible. Why? It must be that the paraduma has kedushas haguf. It was just like owned by the Beis Hamikdash. You pass it by Revia. Revia doesn't pass it. There is a halacha though that if kashi bedek habayis is nirva, so now you can't redeem it regularly. You have to wait until it befalls the mum and then you redeem it. Agabanim, the Gemara says like this: Shani para. You know why? Look what it says in the pasuk. At the end of the pasuk of paraduma, it says chatosi. Now, the translation of chatosi means that this paraduma causes a what? A tahara, a chitui tahara. But we can learn that's like a chatos, like a carbon. You ask me why can't it be nirva? Because it's like a chatos, and when every carbon that's nirva is possible, so do a paraduma. Says the Gemara, beautiful. Yotze is what we call in English a cesarean. If an animal is born through a cesarean, you cannot bring it as a carbon. So if a paraduma is like a carbon, so a paraduma that was born through cesarean should be possible for a paraduma, but that's not the case. It's kosher for paraduma, so it can't be considered a carbon. And you say, yeah, you're right. It's possible for paraduma. Why does it say Gdisha be tzedaifen? Psula. If you take an animal and you make it was born cesarean, you make it a kaddish, it's possible. And Reb Shimon's machshir. What is it talking about over there? What is it talking about? The Gdisha what? This para?
The paraduma.
The paraduma? You sure?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, says Rashi, Yigdish l'para aduma yoyetz doifen. Yigdish b'yoyetz doifen psula, Reb Shimon machshir. V'chiteimer Reb Shimon tamei. Oh, if you'll say that Reb Shimon holds like his own svar, that what? Domer b'yoyetz doifen vlad ma'al. So we have a different child by a woman, a regular kid, a human being that's born yoyetz doifen. So these are the halachas real quickly. Our regular halachas. Famous halacha of Tazriah, Parashat Tazriah. If a woman gives birth to a male, to a boy, she's tamei for 7 days, that goes to the mikvah, then she becomes tar, she's completely tar for 33 days. She has 33 freebies. No matter what, even if she sees down, whatever, she's still tar. And for Nekeva, it's literally everything double. It's 14 days of tumah and 66 days of tara. Then on day 80, she goes to the mikvah and brings a carbon. So we have an unbelievable machlokes between Chacham and Reb Shimon. What happens to a kid that was born cesarean? According to Chachamim, she doesn't get any of these days. Not the Tumah days and not the Tahara days and not even a carbon. Nothing. It's not considered regular birth. And Reb Shimon says, no, it's a regular birth. Everything, 7, 14, carbon. So, Reb Shimon,
It's like the light. It's like the thunder. Right?
what? Oh, you can't even hear it.
Right.
I shouldn't be hearing it. Look, I'm concentrating over here and I still hear it. This is so powerful. V'amar Rabbi Yochanan, Moida Reb Shimon, almost done here. Moida Reb Shimon linyin kachim sheni kadosh. Reb Shimon says, no, that I say that a cesarean is like a regular birth, that's by a human being. But by a carbon, it's not kadosh. So too, over here, the paraduma shouldn't be kadosh. Shani para, I'll tell you why a paraduma that was nirva is no good. It's because not because of chatas, but because of something else. We know that if a paraduma has a little bit of a blemish, no good. Guess what? If it was nirva, that's a blemish. So anything like an erva or a avodah zarah, if somebody uses it as a avodah zarah, it's possible. When the Torah uses the word ashchasa, it's referring to erva, which is nirva and avodah zarah. Dvar erva d'chsiv ki hishchis kol basa also uses the lashon of ashchasa. Is that avodah zarah d'chsiv and tashchis v'azim l'chem besa. Oh, but paranami so tu paraduma hoylu mun paisel ba. Dvar erva avodah zarah paisel. So too, that's why this animal becomes possible from revia. But a yotze doifen, what would be the halacha? Because you're going to Reb Shimon. Gufa. So we just learned. Tony Shilo. My time to Rabbi Lezer. Remember this word over here? Veyakichu. So the Gemara asks that we have the same pasuk by Truma. Here's the pasuk. So you should read it Veyakichu. It says Veyikhu li Truma, the famous pasuk. Veyakichu li. Oh, you're going to say the same drushes before that you're not allowed to buy from a guy. You say, yeah, you're right. So we're going to prove that you're allowed to buy from a guy. This is the famous story of David ben Asina. How much do you have to do kibbud aveim? You hear? We have a kid here, so he has to know how much kibbud aveim. We all have fathers. I hope most of us have fathers. Kibbud aveim ad heichon, at least in this room. Ad heichon kibbud aveim. How much do you have to be mechabed? Omerlem tzuru me'asa goyachad lov b'Ashkelon. What? No, I'm sorry. Me'asa goyachad lov b'Ashkelon. The famous story of the guy in Ashkelon. So what? Oh, yeah. Very good. Rabbi say, if you don't have a father, so please send an email to aminsulted@mdy.com. Laugh all you want. No, you're going to be the first one. Baruch Hashem, I insulted all the people that don't have fathers. So I'm selfish. I don't have a mother, so I thought the Olam has fathers. Right there. Look at this Rashi. Says Rashi, if a guy treats his father like this, how much more so we're mechuyev to treat our father? They wanted a stone for the Choshen, the ephod. Here. Choshen. The ephod. How much is the word? B'shishim riboy sachar. 600,000 golden coins. It's a lot. Rav Kana Masim Shmonim riboy. Right.
What the 600,000 was only the prophet, looks like.
He maybe found it. Maybe it was all profit. How did he get it? Rav Kana Masim Shmonim riboy. I hear. Why does he revach? Litin lo, it was finished. Rav Kana says 80,000. 800,000. The keys of the safe were under his father's pillow, and he was sleeping, and he didn't want to wake him up. So the Olam asks, so he didn't want to wake him up. So how come the Chacham didn't stick around? So stick around for a couple of hours until he wakes up. So they answer, it's Chassidish Vart, and it ties into the next word. They answer that they didn't want to buy this stone anymore. Why? Because this stone would be a kitruk to Klal Yisrael. It would look bad for Klal Yisrael. Look at this guy. He did such a unbelievable act of kibbud aveim, and every time you look at the stone, you're remembering what the guy did, and it looks bad for the Yidden. Oh, and then that ties into another word I heard. So how come Dam ben Nesina was paid back with a paraduma? What's the shaykhis? Why is he paid back with a paraduma? Well, you know this vart?
Yeah, he gives a gemasa recently Shabbos.
Okay, so I'm going to say it. Tell me if I was mechaven to you. So, why did Dam ben Nesina get a paraduma? The answer is because there was a kitrig in Klal Yisrael. There was. The Malachim was saying, look at this guy, look how he treats his father, so much nicer than the Yidden. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, okay, I'm going to show you. There's a midah keneged midah, sort of. We're gonna give him a paraduma. Klal Yisrael is going to come and buy this paraduma. How much does the paraduma cost? Millions of dollars. They're going to spend millions of dollars on something that doesn't make any sense logically. That the person that's being mitar, the person that sprays and sprinkles the tummy guy, he becomes tummy, and the guy gets sprinkled, the tummy becomes tar. And it's just a chayk that we don't understand. We'll never, maybe one day, Be'ez Hashem will understand, but right now we don't understand it. And now we're willing to spend millions of dollars on it. That is to undo the kitruk. Oh, I got to tell you the story real quickly. Two quick stories about kibbud av. By the Nazis were coming, so a father told the son, I need you to iron my shirt. So the son says, iron shirt? He says, yeah, iron my shirt. So he finishes ironing shirt. He says, listen, all these other people, they're giving their kids all the money they have, diamonds, whatever. But at the end of the day, you know and I know, the Nazis are going to take it, nothing. I'm giving you something that the Torah promises arichas yamim. I made you iron my shirt. That's the gift I'm giving you. And with that, there's a famous story with the Chavetz Chaim. Chavetz Chaim came to the city. You can imagine. Imagine Chavetz Chaim comes here. Gol Adar is coming. Everybody's running. So one of the kids wanted to go see the Chavetz Chaim. And his father said, no, it's too dangerous. You know, the adults, they'll squash you. Nah, it's dangerous. I don't want you to go. Please, all my friends are going. Everybody's doing it. No. Kitzer, this guy became an old man, and his Einikel saw him in a very, very good mood. He says, what's pshat? Why? So I'll tell you why. The Chavetz Chaim gave my friends a bracha for arichas yamim. So I was always concerned. They got a bracha for arichas yamim, and I didn't get a bracha for arichas yamim. He says, today, my last friend was nifter, and I outlived all my friends. Why? Because I listened to my father. Listening to kibbud aveim is greater than the bracha of the Chavetz Chaim of arichas yamim. Zog the Gemara. Avni shoyam. Oh, so we have a problem. How do you buy the stone, the special stone from the guy? So Gemara, no, because it's not in the pasuk. Avni shoyam is inyan. That's not connected to the Vayikru pasuk. And Rabbi Sai, Have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.